Greetings of the day. This is Seher here from Renewable India. We would like to introduce to Mr. Pankaj Gupta, who is the CEO of Muffin Green Finance, a leading provider of sustainable financial solutions. With over 2 decades of experience in the industry, Mr. Gupta has been an influential figure in the green space, driving adoption of sustainable practices and technologies across various sectors. We will talk about Mr. Gupta's vision for sustainable finance and challenges and opportunities in the respective sector. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Pankaj Gupta, the CEO of Muffin Green Finance. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Uh, when we talk about today sustainable finance, yes, everybody is now talking about climate financing, and probably everybody is really looking at renewable energy financing. But when we talk about the renewable energy financing side of the business, the combination that currently is probably there are two space which are bigger in nature. One is being solar, and the other one is and which is the upcoming and growing sector, which is EVs. And Mufin Green is primarily focused on EV financing as of right now. We are in an organization where we are a listed entity with around close to 150 crore net worth, and probably an AUM of around close to 250 crores. Exciting thing is not about the numbers, but the exciting thing is that the numbers that we are talking about is of all green portfolio. So whatever 250 crores worth assets that we have under management are all green. So they are either EV or EV ecosystem. So we have been into this space since 2016, and I'm driving this role from last 1.5 years. Uh, in last 1.5 years, we have grown this almost like 6x in our portfolio, and our vision is to probably repeat the same level of growth in EV sector this year. So when I really talk about today Muffin Green vision is to probably drive the growth of EV sector uh, at a next level. Today when we talk about the penetration in the country in the commercial segment is in single digits. We really want to take it to double digit and grow exponentially uh, with the ecosystem. Today, all the government policies are being made for manufacturing and adapting, correct? EVs. But today, when we talk about policies on financing, there are very limited, and these are the challenges which we're going to discuss a little later. Today, as we talk about, there are FAME subsidies which are given on the vehicle financing, starting of the vehicle, buying of the new vehicle at a given point in time. There are FAME subsidies, there are customer subsidies, which are making and enabling this ecosystem. Global players like Amazon and a lot of people, e-commerce industry, major of the sector is already committed to probably be a part of it in terms of EV ecosystem. They are saying all the last mile delivery system which is happening in India would turn into a EV in a over a span of next 5 years. Certain people have taken a certain aggressive targets, but everybody is looking at. Even Delhi government has made an initiative that the last mile delivery has to happen in a electric form. So I see a very good future and a roadmap for renewable energy sector growth in India, especially in terms of EVs. And I think so. Even vehicles were contributing almost like 23% to the overall pollution of the country. And this, if that is also sorted, at least some bit of it is going to get sorted. And apparently, EVs makes a fantastic economic sense for customers also, be it a two-wheeler, three-wheeler, or a four-wheeler. Today, a guy, yes, sense of owning is or cost of owning a EV is little expensive in three-wheelers and four-wheelers, correct? But e-rickshaw, it is far much very cost effective, and that's why India today, when we as we talk, has almost more than 2 million electric rickshaws on road, organized sector put together. So, and it has been constantly growing. So we are seeing the growth of the sector moving on from a probably today this financial year. I see a suspect that there would be almost like more than 3.5 million new rickshaws which would be debuted. We are probably that's a domain that's the biggest portfolio part of our portfolio, which is e-rickshaw financing. And I see the new portfolio products like electric autos, which is L5, they are also going to come up, and they are going to also take a larger ticket size with manufacturers like Alti Green, Euler Motors coming on board, which are driving the last mile logistics in the three-wheeler domain, is going to be a fantastic opportunity for everyone. Even when we talk about today, the India's biggest commercial last mile logistics company, which is Porter India, they are also committed to probably drive the growth of this sector in a certain percentage to EVs in the next financial year. They'll probably looking at deputing almost like 5,000 EVs in the this financial year. So I think so. Yes, all in all, yes, energy sector is something which is growing, and probably EV is going to be a much bigger and a larger part of it, and that's how it is going to grow.
It's a really
So
great
we see
initiative. It
that,
will, yes,
yeah.
sir, it's a
So
really great
probably it makes a
initiative.
fantastic economic sense for the customer also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Sir, so my next question is, what role does sustainability and environmental impact play in your EV financing programs?
So today, when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about most of the customers that we are financing are unbankable customers, correct?
Okay.
So we are basically a combination of sustainability as well as impact. So in terms of SDG, we touch upon approximately close to 7 to 8 SDGs as of right now, and probably environmental or sustainable impact is there. So probably we are impacting life of people who are uh, for their sustainability in their life also, and sustainability in the climate also.
Yes, sir. So true, sir. Sir, can you describe some of the advantages of financing through green finance? Like some additional advantages, if you can give.
So today, so as we talk about, uh, so we talked about that there are a lot of things which are happening interesting in the renovation innovation renewal sector. But when we talk about initiative for financing in renewable sectors, is there are no initiative which are there to support us, correct? Today when we go as an EV financer, most of the banks doesn't have a EV financing policies, which is a matter of concern for us to probably raise funds, correct? So we eventually have to go to international fund to raise funds. We have to probably grow to a other side of the various part of the globe to probably raise funds. So we raised money from Symbiotic, which is in the form of green bonds. We have IREDA, the India Renewable Energy Development Authority, which has really given us funds, and they have really given us a large amount of lines. They have probably even because taken a very good initiative in terms of you know waiving on certain parameters because of which they were not lending to various NBFCs. But for EV, they have done a special approval for us, and we are very thankful to the entire IREDA management team to probably do that and support us on an initiative like an EV financing. Trust me, probably these are the two big lenders to us on board. Then additionally, we have SBI on board, which is India's biggest government bank, and there are multiple more fund. So in the current side of it, the major traction that we have got is from Incofin, who has given us an equity investment, and and certain bonds and structures which are coming and which are linked to both social impact as a base, and then probably climate impact is as in leveraging that we are doing additionally to those parts.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So, sir, what is the process of applying and securing financing for an EV charging infrastructure and swappable batteries through your company?
So when we talk about swappable batteries in a charging and infrastructure, both are complex product, but where most of the finances are really taking a backseat. We where we look at is that where there is a use case, where there is an assured commitment in terms of charging infrastructure, where there is a captive use, or whether there is a assured revenue which is given to customers from customers coming into any of the charge point operator, is somewhere we finance, because today we cannot do a financing which is like a 7 years or 10 years or 15 years till the time I am able to recover my money. Today, for the charging stations, the biggest challenge which everybody faces is that utilization of the charging infrastructure or asset that they have put in place.
Okay, sir.
So financing on a non-committed use case in a current scenario, it's a challenge for all of us or any financing company to probably look at. When you say in terms of swappable batteries, yes, we are working with selected B2B players, and we would love to probably support them much more further in that sense also, because we currently working with a player called as Battery Smart. We have some portfolio with them. We are also exploring working with SAR group also on the same side, and probably looking at driving our portfolio more onto the battery leasing or a swapping side of it.
Okay, sir. Sir, any success story you want to share with us? Any specific
So I think so,
story?
probably, our promoters started with this thought of, doing multiple financing under one roof. The success story, I would say, you know, we really feel blessed that, we are able to help people earn their livelihood. And I think so that's a success story that we create with each retail customer.
Yes,
So
sir, that's
we,
nice.
we we really we really love creating that impact in terms of a guy who was working as an agricultural labor in a small town, who was earning around close to anything between 8 to 12,000 rupees. He's brought in some capital. We have funded him, considering that he would be able to pay us, correct. And he bought a rickshaw, and probably today he's making a livelihood of around close to 25,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees on his effort basis, correct, and able to send his school to a good, for a better education, probably take care of his entire family and livelihood. I think so it's itself a success story. um, uh, and
Yes, sir.
probably when you try and find stories, one of the success stories, we were just shooting our corporate video last month, where we see that when our marketing team went down on the ground to probably do shoot that, they found a lot of women drivers who were able to make livelihood, because because of the husband has passed away, or probably they have not been supported by anybody else in the family. For supporting their own family also, they have really taken an edge, picking up a rickshaw and starting and driving. You would not find a lot of women drivers in Delhi NCR, but in a lot of small towns you'll find a couple of them. I would not say that it is huge in percentage, but there are 8 to 12% people who are driving e-rickshaws as female outside Delhi NCRs. I would say that.
So women empowerment is also one of the aspect of your company.
So I think
So
so. It's livelihood. When we talk about SDG, we are trying to probably touch upon 7 SDG. They are probably last mile connectivities, micro entrepreneurship, uh, probably people who are unbankable, then women
yes, sir.
empowerment. All these are part of our SDGs
Or
that we touch
SDG.
upon.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. So, sir, I would like you to ask, like, do you have any advice for customers looking to finance their green technology, or how they can best prepare for the process?
So green technology is probably, I think so. It's very important to understand green technology as a product before financing green technology. Today, probably I have come from a sector, because I was, before joining Mufin Finance, I was associated with an electric vehicle manufacturing company as a head of growth. So I was chief growth officer for India's one of the biggest e-rickshaw brands in the country. And I was actually, I've seen the cycle of manufacturing, distribution, and everything. And I have seen and dealt with all the small EV financer across, with all the regional players. So I have seen what are the different challenges that they have gone through. So I think so. Understanding on the product is a key when people are looking at green initiative financing.
Okay, sir. So, like, sir, how do you plan to stay ahead of the curve? Like, what do you see as a future of green technology, and how do you plan to stay ahead of the curve? Like, do you have any future plans?
today we are pretty well capitalized. We are at a net worth of around close to 150 crore. We probably have a support of all the leading banks, India's biggest bank, Irida, Symbiotic, Incofin on our board. You know, and there is a lot of couple of traction which is coming onto things. I think so. It is people who would be able to take a larger chunk of business before on time, and probably we have been an early entrant in EV financing. We started in way back in 2016. Definitely, there is a learning curve. Correct. Anybody who comes in
Yes.
new today would have a learning curve after a couple of years or couple of months.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are already have passed through that learning curve. We have seen COVID. Correct. So we have seen all the stages of EV financing and how it has been, and what are the levers and situations that anyone can come across with. So that has probably made us to probably stay ahead with a lot of other players or new entrants in the ecosystem. Definitely also on the technology side, we are doing certain innovations in terms of growing the sector, and probably tracking our loan books. So we are probably working on AI technologies to probably work on our loan books, so that instead of a NPA post-mortem, we focus on probably a preemptive approach of handling the NPAs. So that those are the two things. Apparently, our NPA rates have been always drastically low. Probably last 6 years average, it has been always less than 2%. Uh, that's it. I think so. Those are the learnings which would keep us apart. We have seen the journey where people faces issues, and probably there is an experience of dealing it. There are certain territory experiences, there are certain product experiences, there are certain use case experiences. Probably we have tested out
Yes.
various so far, and
Yes.
probably all has given us all kind of flavors. So,
Yes.
so those flavors would keep us. So we have tested out a with small ticket size in various use cases, and that would keep us ahead from a lot of other people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was my last question. It was really great having you here, and this was a great opportunity for me, especially because I have a lot to learn in the field. I was checking out your page and everything, and I was so impressed. I was like, oh God, I have so much to learn. Thanks, sir. Thanks for being here.
No, it's always a pleasure to connect and probably understand how probably present to share my learnings here. It's always great to learn and probably learn from unlearn from people in the peer system and the ecosystem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.